Should you use a QR code? Solid maybe, and that's my professional opinion. It depends on who your target audience is. If they know how to use a QR code, then absolutely, that makes total sense to use one. If they don't, then probably not. Opt for more direct or traditional ways of talking to them in whatever asset you're creating. Here's a fun example that I got to learn. A few years ago, I sponsored the local county fair rodeo in my hometown. Small town, 600, 700 people total. The entire county has about 2,000 people. So you can imagine we're pretty remote. And I'd been coming from the big city. I'd been in Fort Worth for over a decade. So QR codes were the norm there. I put a giant QR code on a flag as a big sponsor and had the tracking on it. One person looked at it, and I'm pretty sure that one person was my sister, because we talked about it about 6 months later when I was laughing about using QR codes and being a sponsor. And she said, "Yeah, that was you." She had totally forgot. So I didn't even impress my sister. That's a good example of know your audience and who you're talking to, where you're going to put the QR code. Another thing to keep in mind about the QR code is if this is on your website and people are using their phones to access your website most of the time, it doesn't really make sense to use a QR code. If you do, that way people can scan it with their phones. You could turn the image of the QR code into a hyperlink as well. And then put a little note above, scan or click. And then it takes them to whatever site that you're wanting them to get to. One simple workaround, that way you can use a QR code whenever it makes sense to do so.